Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, November 20th reveal that Catherine "Cat" Richardson will feel betrayed by Martin Richardson, while Naomi Hawthorne apologizes to Hayley Hamilton. With that said, BTG spoilers imply that Naomi's apology is really a way to deflect her dad, Bill Hamilton's questions about the lingering marital issues she has with Jacob Hawthorne. Earlier in the week, Jacob told Bill about the lie Hayley was telling, and the prescription for birth control pills alert Naomi saw pop up on his wife's phone. Bill and Hayley are trying to get pregnant, so this was a red flag for Naomi. Of course, Hayley is lying and trying to poison Bill, but she was quick on her feet that night and told her hubby she was trying to regulate her hormones so they could be successful in growing their family. Still, Bill told Jacob to stay in his lane when he brought it up, and even stated that he noticed tension in his son-in-law's marriage. So who was Jacob to judge? During the November 20th episode, Bill will question Naomi on the lingering problems with her hubby. So will she tell her dad that she doesn't want to have kids, while Jacob does? Across town, Ted Richardson will help Peaches out. Leslie Thomas begged Ted to help Peaches get some experimental treatments to prolong her life during the November 19th episode. Ted tried explaining that he's a plastic surgeon, and getting these trials takes time, something Peaches does not have. Leslie was hoping that Ted would use some pull to help her adoptive mom out, and it looks like during the November 20th show, he'll try to do something to assist. Meanwhile, Beyond the Gates spoilers for the November 20th episode imply that Shanice Johnson will put Leslie on notice. As the head nurse of the hospital, Shanice has earned a solid reputation, but Leslie had an outburst the other day, during which she threw some accusations at Shanice, leaving the woman very unsettled. Leslie was a little jealous of how Shanice was flirting with her teddy bear when she first entered the hospital. So will these two women continue to have bad blood, or will Leslie back off? Speaking of rivalries, Thursday's show will offer an explosive confrontation between Kat and Martin, with Eva Thomas along for the ride. During the November 19th show, Martin was supposed to nicely talk things out with Kat at Uptown, but ended up having lunch with Eva instead. He waited and waited for Kat, so Eva decided to have some lunch with her older brother to catch up. Of course, Kat was at the next booth, listening in on their conversation, as Martin and Eva talked a little trash about her. It didn't get too bad, but Martin telling Eva that Kat has been coddled and spoiled her whole life stung, especially since Kat and Eva aren't on the best of terms. Kat confronted Eva shortly after she thought Martin had left, basically telling her half-sister she wished Leslie had terminated her pregnancy all those years ago so that Eva wouldn't have been born. The close of Wednesday's show revealed Martin stepping back to the table after Kat said those mean words to Eva, so it looks like the Richardson siblings will clash again on Thursday's show. Beyond the Gates spoilers imply that Martin will take a side in his sister's feud, so it looks like he'll choose #Team Eva, in light of Kat's recent behavior. Hayley slips another dose of the mystery drug into Bill's tea and is tittering to herself about a $10 million payday when Naomi walks in. Hayley covers what Bill's daughter heard, but then knocks the tea out of Naomi's hand, claiming she's protecting her from Bill's germs. Soon enough, the talk turns to Naomi and Bill's individual marriages. Could Naomi's determination to look for faults in her father's marriage be a reflection of what's going on in her own? Naomi lies through her teeth, claiming her marriage is peachy keen before reluctantly apologizing for Textgate. Once Naomi leaves, Hayley makes Bill another mug of tea for him. While she's doing that, her husband takes out the birthday gift Danny gave him, then finds an excuse to call his ex. Danny quickly dismisses his call, after which Hayley returns with another cup of the special tea, which he begins sipping from. The action at Uptown picks up where yesterday's episode ended. Martin sits Kat down and calls her out for having told Eva she wished she'd never been born. "Who are you?" he asks, even as Kat lists the litany of sins Eva has committed against their family. Martin wants to bond with Eva, but Kat won't see her as anything but a grifter. Kat suggests that Martin is only bonding with Eva because his constituents would disapprove of him icing out a newfound sister. Rather than stay to talk things out, Kat exits in a huff. Martin asks Eva if it's true she slept with Kat's boyfriend. Meanwhile, Kat is at the Dupree mansion talking to Chelsea. The topic? I need to know if I'm a total bitch. Like Martin, Chelsea is shocked by the things her BFF said. Chelsea suggests that if Kat makes Martin and Ted choose, things may not go her way. Danny and Andre continue celebrating their honeymoon, but she worries that upon returning home, the real world will come crashing back in. But Andre promises that they will hang on to what they've found in California. They look forward to their first Thanksgiving as a married couple, although the whole Nicole or Ted thing promises to be a potential issue. Danny isn't about to forgive Andre's uncle for breaking her sister's heart. Leslie continues to be a pain in the you-know-what to everyone at the hospital, including Peaches. Wanting better treatment and extra morphine for her mother figure, Leslie again rattles Shanice's cage. The nurse is having none of it, and Ted interrupts, keeping things from getting physical. Upon hearing a friend of Ted's is heading up an experimental drug program that they can enroll Peaches in, Leslie coos about him being her hero, pulling him into a hug, even as she gives Shanice the evil eye. Later, Ted and Leslie give Peaches the good news. Ted tells Leslie he likes the version of her that doesn't rely on scheming and manipulation. Of course, 5 minutes later, Leslie is wagging her finger in Shanice's face, warning her to stay away from Ted. But Shanice isn't the least bit shaken by the other woman's threats, giving every bit as good as she gets. Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest that Andre Richardson is hiding something from his new wife, Danny Dupree. And fans have been speculating on what it could be. Something had Andre not wanting to do the Forrester Creations fragrance ad shoot, and while he gave Danny enough of an explanation for her to cancel the modeling job, it's hard to shake that he isn't hiding a secret from her. Could his secret be linked to another character on The Bold and the Beautiful? The recent crossover storyline with The Bold and the Beautiful and Beyond the Gates was anticlimactic. The crossover was hyped up, but Ridge Forrester's appearance was only via phone call conversations he was having from his office in Los Angeles. He didn't even set foot in Fairmont Crest. Still, will there be more to come? Could Andre's reason for shying away from the FC fragrance shoot be about another Bold character, deeply involved in the FC fragrance line? For fans who watch both shows, Daphne Rose is hiding a secret about a past romance. Could that relationship have been with Andre? Will more of this crossover storyline unfold in the weeks and months to come? For whatever reason, Andre does not post photos of himself publicly, so whether or not the B&B's Daphne is linked to this, more information will likely unravel soon. With that said, Andre and Danny did leave Forrester Creations scrambling with that fragrance photo shoot. They arrived at the airport, ready to head to LA for the gig, and Danny canceled on Ridge at literally the last moment because she could sense that Andre was feeling uncomfortable. Regardless of whether Daphne is involved in Andre's secret, it's hard to think that Ridge won't somehow retaliate for Dondre leaving him stuck. Will Danny and Andre bear any repercussions for the unprofessional cancellation? Will BTG fans see Ridge pop back onto the canvas and possibly arrive in Fairmont Crest? On the Friday, November 21st episode of Beyond the Gates, Anita doesn't mince words with both Thomas women, while Nicole receives an offer from Carlton. Plus, Vernon makes plans for another secret rendezvous. The marquee matchup for Friday's BTG episode features the spoiler that focuses on Anita, Leslie, and Eva. Anita has bent over backwards to include Leslie in planning Winterfest. It's not because she has suddenly seen the light when it comes to Leslie. Instead, she feels that it's easier to keep tabs on the unpredictable woman if she knows where she is and what she's doing. But typical Leslie goes too far. She isn't happy with her behind-the-scenes role, so she confronted Vernon about helping her get a more prominent role. And Anita is thinking about it. However, look for Anita to take the opportunity to get a few things off her chest. In fact, Anita doesn't mince words with both Thomas women, and it's one of our moments to watch this week. So she must find herself in the same room as Leslie and Eva. Anita might give in to Leslie's request for a bigger role, but she'll also unload a few truths on her first. And Eva might not escape her strong words either. Anita knows what's going on with Kat. Her granddaughter recently confided in her, so maybe someone in the Dupree family will have Kat's back, because we now know that Martin doesn't. Speaking of the congressman, look for Martin to seek some much-needed advice from his grandfather. Now, this could be related to Samantha and how her recent actions have affected the Smith-Richardson family. Or this could be about Martin basically taking Eva's side in her war with Kat. Who knows? It could be all of the above. After all, Martin has made some missteps, including spilling Kat's very personal issues to their half-sister. And Kat overheard the entire thing. Unfortunately, Kat retaliated by saying a very brutal, condescending, and hurtful thing to Eva, which Martin overheard. This Richardson-Thomas sibling dynamic is a total mess, and it might take Vernon's words of wisdom to help Martin fix it. Meanwhile, Tyrell shocks his dads with his choice for the future. Apparently, it has been Tyrell's dream to go to Banneker for college. Martin and Smitty recently set up an informational interview with Isaiah, who has just started as an academic advisor at Banneker. Unfortunately for the dads, Tyrell's dream has suddenly changed, and it has everything to do with his girlfriend, Jessica. She told Tyrell that her parents are making her stick to tradition, which means she'll be attending college at UCLA, 3,000 miles away from the DMV. Tyrell most likely tells his parents he wants to attend the California school next year too. Vernon's close call with Leslie and Anita hasn't stopped him from whatever he is up to with Sharon. The retired senator was able to talk his way out of his unwanted interaction with Leslie, who successfully leveraged him. On Friday, Vernon makes plans for another clandestine meeting with Sharon. Finally, Nicole has once again decided to go solo, especially after the near altercation between Ted and Carlton in the hospital. She backed off from Carlton, even though they had feelings for each other. She isn't ready for anything serious, and Carlton would want something serious. These days, fans know Carla Mosley as the glamorous and hot-tempered Danny Dupree on Beyond the Gates. But long before BTG, the actress began her career on Guiding Light, where she was one half of a popular super couple. Mosley has become one of daytime's most talented actresses. Her journey into soap stardom began in 2008 when she was cast as Christina Moore on GL. The star and her character quickly became popular thanks to Christina's romance with Remy. Remy and Christina quickly became the show's new super couple, and one of their famous moments was their drunken wedding. The couple's wedding was one of the highlights of Mosley's soap career, and she recently reflected on the iconic moment. On Instagram, the actress shared a clip of Christina and Remy discovering they were married the morning after their drunken ceremony. Apparently, on this day nearly 20 years ago, my first soapy drunken marriage, with the incomparable Lawrence St. Victor. On the Guiding Light, Mosley wrote. Her stroll down memory lane also brought back fond memories for St. Victor. We had so much fun! The actor wrote. Mosley remained on GL until the show's cancellation in 2009. 4 years later, she would be cast in the groundbreaking role of Maya Avant on The Bold and the Beautiful. The role reunited Mosley with her former co-star, St. Victor. Like on GL, Mosley and St. Victor's B&B characters, Maya and Carter, had a romance. Unfortunately, Maya and Carter's relationship ends when he discovers she's still in love with Rick. Maya and Rick became one of B&B's super couples. However, after Young's departure in 2018, the couple divorced off-screen. Soon after Young's departure, Mosley also left B&B. Her last appearance as Maya occurred in 2019, and then a year later, she officially announced her departure. The actress went on to work on other projects, but in 2024 was cast as Danny on BTG. When the new CBS soap premiered in February 2025, Mosley wowed fans with her tense, emotional, and sometimes humorous performance. As a woman scorned, Danny often goes to war with her ex-husband Bill's new wife, Hayley. Danny's strong-willed and hot-tempered attitude often lands her in trouble with her family. And much like her GL character, Mosley's Danny had a drunken wedding with Andre. Although Danny and Andre had some concerns about their nuptials, the couple is determined to make their marriage work. Will Danny and Andre have their own happily ever after, like GL's Christina and Remy? Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates. On Friday, November 21st, 2025, Tyrell shocks his dads. Anita goes after both Thomas women, and Vernon is at it again. Anita Dupree has had enough of Leslie, and in Friday's episode, Anita doesn't mince words with both Thomas women. Both Leslie and Eva are going to hear from the Dupree matriarch, and they're not going to like what they are told. But the likelihood of this having any long-term effect on the show's main antagonist is slim. And Eva has no reason to worry about Anita's words. Will it be Banneker or UCLA in Friday's episode? Tyrell shocks his dads with his choice for the future. Tyrell really likes Jessica, but is it enough to leave Fairmont Crest and move to LA? And Jessica wants to make her parents proud and attend UCLA, but does she like Tyrell sufficiently to change her plans and attend Banneker and remain together? Young love may just have run its course. In Friday's episode, Nicole Duplay receives an offer from Carlton. Carlton was last seen telling Nicole that he had loved her from afar and for so long that waiting just a little bit longer wasn't a hardship for him. Now, Carlton has a fresh offer for Nicole. Will it be enough to have her speed up her grieving for her marriage? In Friday's episode, Martin seeks some much-needed advice from his grandfather. The siblings feud at home, and the chaos it causes sends Martin to his grandfather's house to find a way to navigate troubled waters. Vernon always finds the right words at the right time for his children and grandchildren. Let's hope he can again today. In Friday's episode, Vernon makes plans for another clandestine date. It's a miracle that it hasn't gotten back to Anita already, that Vernon has been seen with Sharon, let alone the time adding up to when Vernon has lied to her about where he's going to be. This little bit of storytelling is going to wrap up soon, and it all points to a surprise for Winterfest, because no one could believe that Vernon would step out on his wife, whom he adores so much. The end of the week is upon soap fans. Look out for the next week's sneak peek and the scoop to get an insight and spoilers for next week on Beyond the Gates. Things go from bad to worse quickly in Beyond the Gates. As Shanice hits her limit with Leslie, Martin ends up choosing sides in a growing sibling conflict, and several strained relationships reach a breaking point. But the biggest shift of the day begins with a confrontation that neither woman can avoid, and the outcome might change everything. Leslie has always carried herself like someone who knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to say it. She's direct, confident, and rarely leaves room for others to take the lead. But her recent behavior has pushed more than a few buttons, especially with someone who refuses to fall in line. Shanice has never been the type to let anyone speak over her or take charge of situations that affect her. Both women are strong, outspoken, and unwilling to step back. At the same time, Martin finds himself stuck in a different emotional tug-of-war. His long-standing issues with Kat have resurfaced, while his connection with Eva feels steadier. But choosing between them will have consequences, no matter what direction he leans. Complicating things further, there's a chance Martin's dilemma doesn't involve Eva or Kat at all. It may center on Samantha and Tyrell instead. With so many strained relationships around him, picking a side won't come without fallout. The moment Shanice has been building toward finally arrives. She decides she can't let Leslie continue pushing boundaries and makes it clear that things need to change. Those close to the situation say Shanice wanted Leslie to understand that she won't tolerate her taking control or speaking for her anymore. Martin also reaches the point where he must stop sitting in the middle. He decides where his loyalty stands, fully aware it could shift the balance within the family. Whether he aligns himself with Eva, extends support to Kat despite their issues, or steps into the conflict between Samantha and Tyrell, his choice reshapes the dynamic around him. Meanwhile, Bill tries to get answers from Naomi about her marriage. Even though Naomi won't discuss her marriage with Bill, she realizes she must address another painful situation. She reaches out to Hayley to apologize, knowing their falling out left deep marks. Since Hayley is not only her former best friend, but also her stepmother, the conversation promises to be uncomfortable but necessary. Elsewhere, Peach's health becomes a growing concern. Ted steps in to help her and quickly realizes she may be struggling more than she has let on. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more Beyond the Gates updates. The action in the Beyond the Gates spoilers preview video for the week of November 17th opens in a Los Angeles hotel room where Danny and Andre are on their impromptu honeymoon, basking in the romance of their getaway as they sip champagne. "To my wife, I love you," he tells Danny as he tips his champagne flute toward her. Danny smiles and says to her new husband, I love you too. They clink their flutes to seal the toast. Back in the DMV at the Fairmont Crest Country Club, Anita and Vernon are mid-discussion. So, are you going to tell me what this little secret is, or do I have to start guessing? And you know how vivid my imagination is, she tells him, lowering her voice to make it clear just how serious she is. Will Vernon open up about his secret meetings with Sharon? Apparently not. He answers with a deflection. Well, not as vivid as Leslie's. Speaking of Leslie, the scene shifts as she pays Ted a visit at his office, looking for advice. I don't know where else to turn, she tells her ex-lover. He is not moved in the slightest by her crocodile tears. I think you walk around dropping matches and act surprised when fires start, he tells her. Will Leslie get angry that he isn't taking her seriously? Or will she finally get real with him? Ted and Leslie's daughter, Eva, finds herself on the receiving end of harsh words from Ted's other daughter, Kat, when the two cross paths at Uptown. Finding out that Ted asked Eva to call him Dad is still a deep wound for Kat, and she lets her half-sister have it. I wish your mother had gotten rid of you, because we'd all be living our best lives if you'd never been born, Kat snaps. Hayley is having the time of her life as she drops some more poison in husband Bill's mug. Proud of herself, she says out loud while practically dancing with glee, "One small dose for Bill, one giant leap toward a $10 million payout for Hayley," unaware that Bill's daughter, Naomi, has walked into the room. See it for yourself in the video below. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the comments section, and be sure to check out our spoilers gallery for a look at what's next on all the soaps the week of November 17th, including BTG.